This week on the Rusty and Jan Show, we'll be talking to one of our newer friends, Richard Hopkinson.
And we'll feature a song by our good friend Charles Nolan.
Our theme this week is survival.
Survival. And we'll also update you on the upcoming events in our community.
And no episode would be complete without hearing from George over at Melanie Cafe.
That's right. So if you're ready, let's get started with the Rusty and Jan Show. When the world comes crashing down on us, they're always there, and they're always happy company because they care. Oh, yes, they care. And when you need to take out pain, well, no one else will do. Dial the phone or go on Zoom. Thank God there are friends like you. I said, thank God there are friends like you. Our song of the week was selected from our open micers. It's written by Charles Nolan.
And it talks about overcoming life's distractions.
This is called Survival.
Here's a quieter one about one of the great distractions you can run into in life. Survival. Distracted by survival, I climbed to the mountaintop. Saw my true love waiting by 1,000-foot drop. There was much I longed to tell her by the golden light of day. But I was distracted by survival, so the chance slipped away. Distracted by survival, I went searching all around, till a voice cried, "Son, take off your shoes, for this is holy ground." But I couldn't find the speaker that the voice was coming from. So distracted by survival, I moved on. Every word is written down when promises are made. You can sneak out of 1,000 towns, the debts will all be paid. Distracted by survival, I went searching end to end. But love is the coin of love, I had nothing to spend. On a cliff above the raging sea, I leaned too far from land. So distracted by survival that I couldn't feel her hand. So distracted by survival that I couldn't see or care. Till I forgot about survival and she caught me in the air.
And now it's time for Going Out with Rusty and Jan. Hello, and welcome again to Going Out with Rusty and Jan. Here are our upcoming guests. On August the 9th, we'll interview Ray Naylor. On August the 16th, we'll talk with Heidi Wolfson. And on August the 22nd, we'll feature Stephen Lord.
Yes. Melanie Cafe is continuing to have indoor performances. As always, please remember to support both the artist and the cafe. Here are some upcoming shows. On Saturday, August 7th, of course, is Richard Hunt. He will take the stage from 2 to 5 p.m. Sunday, August 8th, will feature Kelvin and Coop from 1 to 4 p.m. You might know Kelvin from the open mic at Connie's Rick Rack. Jan does the booking for Melanie, so if you're interested in scheduling a show, you should contact that lady.
Our weekly open mic is continuing to thrive. We'll continue to have our hybrid format until everyone is comfortable with performing inside. As usual, we'll have online sign-ups every Wednesday at 5 on the Melanie Open Micers Facebook group page.
And here's the information on this season's upcoming festivals. The Philadelphia Folk Festival will be a hybrid event this year and will take place on August 21st through 22nd. It will feature live concerts at the Spring Mountain Ski Area, limited to a maximum of 1,000 audience members. Instead of in person camping, PFS will once again offer virtual campsites, and we will also be hosting the open mic with Charlie Miller at the campfire stage, right?
Right.
The front porch stage. So we're looking forward to coming back and doing that again. So now, if you need more information about the fest and how it's a little different this year and how we're going to get around everything, just go to the website, and that's at www.pfs.org.
X-Fest will take place in person at the Country Creek Winery on September 17th and 18th. Their volunteer registration page is now open at www.xfsmusic.org.
And you will see us there. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, we are.
The Pops Train Music Festival is continuing to take shape. As previously mentioned, it's going to take place on September 25th from 10 to 4 and will coincide with the Tuckahoe Transportation Heritage Festival. They will have a number of activities that day, including an excursion train, motor car rides, and display trains. Rusty and Jan will be in charge of providing music for the event, and we're looking for other musicians to play sets throughout the day. Wristbands can be purchased for $10 for adults and $5 for kids, and will give you access to all the activities. If you're performing, the price of wristbands will be waived. And don't forget that we'll be filming footage for the video to go along with my song, Pop's Train. We'd love to have you take part in the filming. We'd love to have you there. It would be great. I would really enjoy that.
Yes. PFS Fall Fling will happen in person on October 1st through the 3rd with limited attendance in Green Lane, Pennsylvania.
And we be jamming at that one.
And that's right. Now it's time to see what George is cooking up at Melalani Cafe this week. It's time for
George's Corner.
Hey you guys, and we welcome to the Thursday Open Mic. We thought about bringing you the video this week from Open Mic, so we decided to give a new take, because last week I seem to have messed up the video.
Oh, you were fine. You were fine.
So we decided this week that, we wanted to rep the Open Mic. So, what do you guys want to say? What do you guys have for dinner? Jan had the moussaka today.
Yeah.
And I know Charles is here, really enjoying the moussaka tonight too.
And I've been enjoying the bop bowl.
Bop bowls are really good. I mean, it's anything you could possibly want them to be.
Yeah, so we have two new menus, including ours. So we have 3 menus, and they're liking the pork, the spicy pork, and the bop bowl. So definitely come check us out for the open mics.
Absolutely. And we just love being associated with this big guy here.
Yeah!
And now it's time for Head to Head with Rusty and Jan. Well, Jan, it looks like we survived the pandemic. And now
How about that?
I know. So now the challenge is returning to a normal life appreciating each other or whatever it's going to be. So
It certainly is a strange new world, somewhat familiar but foreign at the same time.
I don't know if we all learned a lesson or not, or we're just glad to see each other again. But people somehow do seem to be kinder in general. They genuinely feel like it seems like we're all glad to be together again.
Perhaps that's the lesson that we take from survival. The relationships we may have taken for granted before seem to be more important. It makes me compelled to go to the good.
Absolutely. I feel more compelled than ever just to be kind because I found out what it was like to actually lose people and not have them in your life every day. It was no fun.
True. I also find it frustrating that I want to give everyone a hug, but there's still an air of cautiousness from the trauma that the pandemic caused.
There's no question that we're changed forever. Not to mention that we had quite a political year with the storming of the Capitol and everything else that happened. I'm just so tired. I just want to move on. So
I think no matter what side we're on, we can all agree that the pain is the same.
the pain was rough. Yeah. I personally feel like it's important to reach out and let people know that you care.
There was a thing going around where people would call their loved ones every day just to bolster their spirits or enjoy the company of another person.
Just in case we never said it, we want you to know that we care about all you guys and we really
Absolutely.
appreciate you. We really do.
You have all supported us throughout this difficult time, and you are the reason we have survived.
No question about it. We talked about some of this stuff with our guest this week, Richard Hopkinson, who had his own views on about going to the good. This is how that interview went. Well, Jane, you never know who's going to show up at the open mic at Melalani Cafe, especially when we're going exclusively virtual. You know?
Right?
That's right. So, but every once in a while, somebody shows up you never saw before, and it's like a new friend, and it's like a true gift. And that's kind of what happened to us when we got to know our guest for this evening.
Richard Hopkinson.
Hi, Rich.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
no.
yeah, our pleasure.
Our pleasure. Yeah, yeah. I think different people have seen you now over at Melalani, virtually and otherwise. You've been there, I think,
Yep.
I think to scratch beyond the surface to see who you are and what it is, that's been one of the joys of doing the Rusty and Jan show.
Yeah, I love the format. You guys are doing real well.
Oh,
Thank
thanks
you.
so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I don't know anybody else that's doing a hybrid open like that. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, yeah, I think you're definitely forging a path.
Oh,
and it's definitely got challenges.
yeah.
We're
That's
working
right.
through them, though. We're working
Oh,
through them.
Yeah, and we are having a lot of fun. We really
Yeah, we
are.
really are. We're
It's,
glad to be back live again.
So,
And you can
anyhow.
tell. You can
Oh,
tell
okay.
that it's fun for you guys. You can
Yeah.
really tell.
Well, it's very much a family. I mean, it's been that
Yes,
way
it
for a
is.
long time,
Yeah.
and the people that we get to share our ups and downs with very valuable to us, yourself included, of course. And so it's we're really honored to be welcomed and be able to do it the way we are. So, but enough about us.
Anyway, as one of our newer friends, we'd like to get to know you a little better. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in music and tell a little about yourself?
Be happy to. Um, I was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and the funny part about my musical career is that I hung out with a bunch of musicians. One gentleman in particular, Glenn Burtnick, who played in Styx. He was the original Paul McCartney
Oh, wow.
in the Beatles, Beatlemania, on Broadway, and it's gone on with a band called the Weaklings. It just really. I used to hang around with all the time with him and other buddies, but never picked up an instrument. It was kind of weird. Then later on in life, I picked it up and just played for myself. And then about 5 years ago, I don't know what bug hit me, but I just wanted to get real serious with it, and I didn't start playing out until an open mic started in Ambler, and played 2 songs once a week. And that got me really going. And then the pandemic hit, and really started playing a lot of them. And as we'll get into, I guess I played my first live gig this past Saturday. So
And we were there.
Yes, we were
yes,
honored
you
to be
were.
there as well.
Yes, you
And
were.
to be given the opportunity to perform as well. We appreciate that. And I like their beer. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a neat place. It's a
Yeah,
really, and I'm going to be there this coming Saturday again from
I
3 to
saw that.
6.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to have one of those beers the next
Oh, there
time.
you go. Now, just for our audience, exactly where was that?
Stone and Key, the Stone and Key Cellars. It's a wine and beer. It's a winery that also does beer, and it's in Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania, near Five Points. If anybody is aware of 5 Points.
Yeah. It's a mammoth place. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
great big wine store. Everything you can imagine for winemaking and all that
yeah,
stuff, and then the beer as well. So I was really surprised how big it was.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So
place.
yeah, and it's fun. Now, is that up near Folk Fest land? Do you live
It's
near?
on the way.
It's
Yeah, it's on the way. You go straight up 309, and
right.
you'll get to Allentown and all that. And
Uh-huh.
it's it might be 30 minutes if you didn't hit traffic.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where you
Quickly on
live?
the way.
Do you live up that way?
Yeah, I live right a few minutes from there. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay, cool, cool. So you see when all the hippies come in every year, it kind of overwhelms the neighborhood.
That's right. That's
I
right.
see.
I, I I'm an ex, so
Oh, you're an ex? Okay.
I'm welcome in that club.
I see. I see. Yes. Well, you're always welcome at our campsite, anyhow. So,
We've started touching on the venue. Could you tell us a little bit about the performance, what that was like for you?
For playing so long by myself, it's just a joy to play with people. It's a new experience for me, and I just want to get better and better at it. It was so much fun. You guys made it so much fun
Oh,
oh,
thank you. It was
for
fun.
me. You introduced my song "Be Water," and it's funny that before I knew you, I wrote it, and right before I met you, I wrote it, and I wrote it with a flute in
Ah,
mind, and just kind of the way my life always works out, then you
yeah.
show up.
The Cosmos had something in mind for it.
yes. It was something
Yeah, I
about the
believe so. I
yes.
believe so.
It was
Absolutely.
it was the fluid in the air, I guess.
You're weird.
Anyhow, so what is it that you need to tell us? What is it that you need to have in your songs? Why do you say what you say?
Where do you find inspiration for your songwriting?
Yeah.
Um, you know, if you were talking artists, Bruce Springsteen is very big for me. I grew up in New Jersey and grew up uh, seeing him at the Stone Pony
Huh?
before he was famous.
So you spent
And
some time in Asbury and that
yeah,
location.
yeah, I used to go down there, and a lot of really good memories of
Mhm.
uncomplicated music.
Yeah.
And still, I hadn't picked up an instrument yet. It's kind
Uh-huh.
of bizarre, but
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And
Well, I kind of relate to that scene myself. I lived in Atlantic Highlands, Leonardo, right near Sandy Hook for a while.
It's actually something you guys have in common. That
Yeah.
whole Bruce connection.
Oh yeah,
Tell them your Bruce
absolutely.
story.
Yeah, I had a Bruce story. I met Bruce one time. We used to hang out at the same bars and such, and I met him
yeah,
in physical therapy one time. So he
yeah,
was not the kind of guy that was not that was inaccessible. He
right.
just kind of lived his own life, and if people
And
came up to him, he kind of dealt with it. You know.
right. And I always marvel because he writes like he's been there in your shoes,
Yeah.
and you come to find out he hasn't been in your shoes. He
Uh-huh.
has a particular connection with people, and that's what I try to do. You know,
Yeah.
my latest song, "Be Water," I wrote after reading a book about Bruce Lee and watching a documentary on Bruce Lee, and kind of got inside and tried to write the song from his perspective, kind of thing.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you want to do that song for us?
Sure, sure. This is "Be Water," everybody. Bruce Lee's philosophy for the arts was the same for life, building bridges to address the gap with opponents, dreams, ideas, love, and life. Be water, be water, my friend, be water, my friend. Has unique qualities, it takes any shape, never a direct hit, it cannot break. Be water, my friend, be water, my friend. Take the mantle of self, you are your own fuel, light, healing, and energy. Shift your perspective and change your path. Then summon your courage to walk on. Be water, my friend, be water, my friend. The softest substance, it crushes and mends, formless and shapeless, flows and bends. Be water, my friend, be water, my friend. No limitation as limitation, living east meets west. Don't accept another's image of you, using no way as way. Self-actuation, find what is worthy about you, then express it. Be water, my friend, be water, my friend. I may die someday without fulfilling my ambitions. I have no sorrow. What I have done has been done with sincerity, honesty to my best. I can and I won't expect more from life. I did what I wanted to do. Be water, my friend, be water, my friend, be water, my friend, be water, my friend.
Yay!
Ooh, very, very nice. I love that
Very nice.
song.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and you can tell, at least the way I wrote it, I just heard flute the whole time. So
I think there's songs that I identify as, wow, that would be a really cool
yeah,
flute song. Yeah,
Mm,
and that's one of
absolutely.
them.
yeah. And then sometimes you'll hear another artist play a song from an artist play a song from another artist, that they throw in something that wasn't part of the original, and it sounds so
Yeah.
good. It's like, wow,
Well, if you don't do that, you're essentially a jukebox.
Right. Make it
So
your
that's
own.
right.
I've always
yeah,
believed
That's
that.
right. That's
absolutely.
right.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's been times where I've heard a song and I've practically been salivating.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
it would be
Yep.
very difficult for me to provide the performance that Sting does, but I could do a song by Sting and I could bring something else to it.
We do a song.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Exactly
Sure.
right. Yeah,
Yeah. I think
that's
artists need to
perfectly
have that
said.
freedom. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well said. Yep.
Speaking of artists, if you could pick any artist, dead or alive, to open for, who would it be?
I know you had asked me that question before, and I immediately um, there's a 21 piece band that each one of the people that I would want to be with would be in the band. So
Oh.
it's a difficult question, but I'd probably stick with Bruce. I'd probably since we were talking about him before,
Right. Yeah.
and I'm going to do another song that it was his inspiration for the song. So
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I think I can relate to that. Being a New Jersey boy myself, the images he projects about the Jersey Shore
yeah, yeah,
and the boardwalk and all that. I mean,
yeah.
that's
He made it fashionable to
oh,
be from New
absolutely,
Jersey.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rusty's a big Bruce
We
fan.
we kind of walked
Yeah.
around like this for a while.
Sure. Yes, but no matter what anyone else says, we have Bruce.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Um,
So what are your plans now? I mean, the cocoon has been opened, and you can do some more things. What would you like to see
Well,
happen?
I'm going to still hang out with the likes of you guys, and
Cool.
we've all met the Massachusetts contingent,
yep.
Exactly.
and
They're a force to be reckoned with.
you had Rick Page on
Uh-huh.
last, I think,
Right.
A couple weeks ago,
and
yeah.
I've never met him, but yet he's been very helpful. As you guys have been. There's so much more than the guitar to learn about the performance, and I'm all ears, So
Yeah.
I'm just looking to grow, and I'd like to record my stuff and keep writing. The writing part is what I get the most joy out of.
Hmm.
I love writing. It's my passion with the
That's
music.
wonderful.
Yeah. And that kind of gets back to what I originally said in the very beginning, is what is it that you want to say? What's important at this point of your life? What's the message that you want to put out there?
A message of love and grace
Hmm.
in these times. So important to
Sure.
get back to the grace of living and being human. Important matters. There's a lot of strife happening now with the pandemic. The pandemic's unfortunately coming roaring back, and
Yeah.
global warming and climate change, and there's big things happening that people need to be made aware of. So
Right.
there's certainly no loss of writing subjects, that's for
No.
sure.
No, that's
And bringing it back home to relationships, and as I said, love and grace
Yeah.
is what I concentrate on.
Yeah. It's good to hear. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting back to something as you said, playing with other people, one sure way to get better as a musician is to play with people who are better than you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or-
I
Or
totally
just
agree.
play with other
Even-
people,
Yeah.
just
'Cause
in general.
even if they're not as good, they just give you a different frame of reference.
Because even
Right.
a person that is not as good as you has something to teach you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
and
so-
I find almost across the board, I would be hard pressed to think of somebody that wasn't gracious in their giving, to me, and hopefully people get that from me, that I'm gracious in
Yeah.
giving them something. take back with them when you play. As I was mentioning, Rick Page has just, I call him all the time to
That's fantastic.
figure out stuff, and he's a very helpful
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Jay, Singing Spirit Cunningham's another one.
Absolutely.
That whole group, I can't wait to meet them.
Mhm.
They're
We'd love
awesome.
to meet them too.
Oh yeah.
I almost I thought you guys would be from Massachusetts. Because I figured all the good ones are up there, and then you're right here.
Thanks. You know, it's a funny story that Melanie has been an open mic for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
But before the pandemic, we were just strictly
We were a local coffee house. We had
Cafe.
a local following, and
Right.
we love to have. And you know many of them by now, of course. And it was a wonderful family to have. All of a sudden, we have family that's international,
great
and it's
Right.
because of the
just
pandemic.
it's
Yeah.
just such a wonderful thing to be
Yeah.
involved with. It
Because we
really
had to
is.
keep it because we had to keep the open mic going somehow, some way. We
Right.
Other
decided,
people.
oh, let's try one of those virtual open mics, and then the
Mhm.
rest is kind of
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
wound up with these new friends from Massachusetts and a couple of other
As
places.
Right, and as we talked about on Saturday, that's I think that's an art form for living, and that is find the good.
Yeah.
The pandemic was awful, is awful.
Sure.
It's
Well,
you know
you said something earlier that made a lot of sense, and it kind of comes back to my own philosophy as a nurse. You said that everybody that you've been meeting has something to teach,
right,
and I
right,
believe in life, every person you meet has something to teach.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
I think there's a theme brewing here.
yeah, yeah,
And here's the thing about that, going full circle. The best way to learn
yeah.
is to teach.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Absolutely.
really taking shape now.
Absolutely. So why don't you go ahead and play another song for us?
Okay. Um, as I was saying, the other song I was going to do actually happened on I was listening to an interview of Bruce Springsteen, and he was talking about how we go through relationships with broken pieces. And I said I was going to write the song before he did. So this one's called Broken Pieces. You've been living, your heart's been broken. Disappointments and setbacks too often unspoken. Hold it inside and pretend it's all right when the truth is told in life's hard light. Broken pieces, shattered dreams, not enough glue and there's too many seams, like the human condition that ever ceases, looking for someone with similar broken pieces. Looking for understanding, your pieces and mine. Would you like to share? Do you have the time? Maybe we can get together and do a similar dance. Fit our pieces in concert to give us both a chance. Broken pieces, shattered dreams, not enough glue and there's too many seams, like the human condition that ever ceases, looking for someone with similar broken pieces. Can you understand what I'm saying? feeling broken with dreams slipped away. Can we get together, your pieces and mine? Maybe you are looking, can we talk over wine? Broken pieces, shattered dreams, not enough glue, and there's too many seams, like the human condition that ever ceases, looking for someone with similar broken pieces. Nothing wrong if you understand what I'm saying. Similar exposure when we're out here playing. We combine what is good, then maybe someday broken peace and heartache will fade away. Broken pieces, shattered dreams. There's not enough glue and there's too many seams, like the human condition that ever ceases, looking for someone with similar broken pieces, looking for someone with similar broken pieces.
Yay!
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you
Okay,
very
well,
much.
before we let you go, you mentioned you wanted to do some recording. Do you have any recordings, or can we find you on YouTube if somebody wanted to hear more of your music?
Just the ones that I've thrown up on Facebook. I don't have, I do have a YouTube channel, but it's not developed yet.
Mhm.
And I don't have any formal recordings. That's the next project, to learn how to do that.
Okay. But we can find you on Facebook, though.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's good. That's a,
Well, thank you for coming on our show.
yeah, that was so much fun. And thanks for having us over this past weekend. We had a great time.
Oh, you can't, you'll never know how much I appreciated you being, it was so great. So
Very
great.
good. All right, then. Well, then good luck to you. And I guess we'll see you online
Thank you very
Or
much.
in person. He comes
or
out.
in person. That's
He
right.
comes out to Melalani
Well,
sometimes.
that would be a pleasure. Absolutely. So great. We'll see you then.
Take care.
Take
Thanks for the opportunity. Bye-bye.
You're
No,
welcome.
Thank you. Well, in light of everything that's happened, it would be very easy to forget about the people that are still trying to survive.
Here's a song that Rusty wrote for those people.
It's called Puerto Rico. Sea meets the sand in a beautiful land, and we all lend a hand in Puerto Rico. My family was whole, we worked for a goal, but the powerful stole from Puerto Rico. The evening was warm, the night of the storm, where radio warned Puerto Rico. The children would cry, some people died the night that they lied to Puerto Rico. They said they would help, we prayed as we knelt. The water would melt in Puerto Rico. The power went down, the sea came around, and the people would drown in Puerto Rico. The evening was warm, the night of the storm, and the radio warned Puerto Rico. The children would cry, some people died the night that they lied to Puerto Rico. The night that they lied